I wish Paul and Jesus would get on the same page. They did not. You heard today Paul saying, "You do know the time, the hour is now," right? That's the second reading. And Jesus says, "You don't know the hour nor the time when the Son of Man will come." So which one is that? Do we know it or do we not know it? Well, it's not about knowing or not, it's about the time. In Greek, which the New Testament Bible was written, the time is chronos, just like chronology, to put something in time order, to order things chronologically. And in Greek, one of the most famous philosophers, Aristotle, said that chronos, time, does not exist as such, because there is no such entity as a time. I can say this is a pew, this is a baby, this is a daddy, this is a mommy, right? Can you point to something and say this is a time? Aristotle says, no, you can't. Time simply does not exist as an independent entity. So what is time? Aristotle says time is but a measure of change. Measure of change. How do we know that time is passing or flying? Because we just had a wonderful summer, great fall, and winter is coming. So we know that seasons are changing. Hence we know time is passing by. How do you know that you are 18 or 21 years old? Because something changed. You can drink legally. You couldn't yesterday, you can tomorrow. There is a change. And I said 18 because in every civilized country it is 18. I'm sorry for the teenagers in this country who have to wait until 21. How do we know that we are getting older? Because we are changing. We are getting shorter here and wider here. We are getting a wrinkle here and there. We need to get glasses. We are changing since we know the time is passing. Without change, there will be no time. And that's why in Christian theology we say in heaven or in hell there is no time because there is no change. It's all final. There can be no tomorrow in heaven. It's only now. In heaven or in eternity, there is only now. Only presence exists with God. You are either perfectly and eternally happy, or you are perfectly and eternally miserable. But there is only now in the space after death. So if there is only now, if there is no change, because in God there is no change, shouldn't we learn something from eternity and apply it to our lives today? If Paul says, you know the time, for now is the hour to be awakened from the sleep. Maybe it's all about now. Maybe the point of Paul's speech is not to speak about waking up or falling asleep, but it is about helping us understand that when it is a time to wake up, you wake up. When it is a time to go to bed, you go to bed. Live in the now. Live in the presence. Ever since the dawn of civilization, we humans have been trying to change our natural rhythms of living. Once we tamed the fire and could stay up late at night, we messed up with our natural biological clocks. And if you are unlucky and unhappy enough to have a computer or smartphone, what do into late night hours? Checking your Facebook, playing on the casino games, Snapchatting or Pokemon hunting. No, we keep ourselves occupied even though we should be sleeping. And then we wake up at 6 or 7 or 8 a.m. and we are cursing God knows what because we want to sleep longer. And then, where is my coffee? It would not happen if we didn't have fire, light, and electricity. We would have to go to bed after sunset and wake up at the sunrise. But because we call ourselves civilized people, we can conquer the night and then be miserable in the morning. And Paul says, you know the time, the hour is now. Even what we are living through right now, if you are crazy enough to go shopping yesterday, how many of you did go shopping yesterday? Don't? Okay. No shame, no shame, but go to confession afterwards. Have you seen any Advent decorations? Have you seen any purple Advent wreaths? No. It's all about Christmas. It's all about jingle bells, and your credit cards. Our culture is very symptomatic of our inability to live in the now. We are thinking for the next 4 weeks about December 25th. We are not enjoying these beautiful 4 weeks of Advent because we are focused on what is to happen in 4 weeks. And when it happens, on December 26th, what will happen in your neighborhood stores and shopping malls? No more Christmas. To be all about Valentine's Day. We are unable to live in the moment, in the now. We always think of something better that is waiting just beyond the corner. And Paul says, the hour is now. You know the time for God's sake. The time is now. It's not tomorrow, it's not yesterday, but the time is now. So on the threshold of Advent, when we listen to Paul and Jesus and Aristotle, I encourage you to think of how you are changing and whether or not you are enjoying and living in the time that God gives you right now. As you look at your baby, this beautiful Andrew Martin boy, perhaps you are imagining what he will be like when you won't have to change diapers anymore, right? Perhaps you are praying for the day that he can feed himself. Perhaps you are thinking and dreaming of the day when both your children are 18 and you have your lives again in your hands. No good. Don't do that. Enjoy every day of this moment. Enjoy the smelly diapers, enjoy the vomit on your nice shirt, enjoy the lack of sleep, and live in the moment that God is giving you today, because this day will never come back. The day that you woke up in the morning is yours and only yours. What you will do with this day is up to you. Perhaps you are not 21 just yet. Perhaps you had to wait until midnight to get that drink. But enjoy being young and not legally able to drink. Perhaps, and I shouldn't say this because I'm being recorded for YouTube, perhaps on this last day of being 20, it is okay to do something illegal and have a glass of wine with your father. Enjoy the moment that God gave you today. Do not think of what happened yesterday, and do not focus your life exclusively on what will happen tomorrow. There is a reason why you are alive today, and this reason is that God gave you this day to live fully, to love fully, and to have fun as well. Amen.